let's review upcoming central bank meetings. This current week will be the last for significant financial data for 2024. So upcoming this week, we have activity data that comes in the form of PMIs from Europe and Japan. We have PCE inflation data out of the US. So remember, that is the Federal Reserve's preferred measure of inflation. And we also finally have employment data coming out of the UK, where markets are expecting to see a rebound in private sector hiring. But the two main events for the week will be central bank meetings, and that's from the Federal Reserve and also the Bank of England. So if we cast our minds back to last week, the ECB went first out of those major central banks, and we saw that they had reduced interest rates by 0.25%. Now, what are markets expecting from the Fed and the Bank of England? If we start with the Fed first, they're expecting that interest rates are reduced by 0.25% in the US. So that would take interest rates down to 4.5%. What's also important for markets from that meeting, however, is it's the quarterly refresh of the Fed's estimates. So that comes in a document known as the Summary of Economic Projections. And in that document, the Fed tried to give markets an understanding of their expectations. So that comes from interest rates, GDP growth, inflation, and finally employment. So if we see any of those variables change in that document, it can lead to asset price changes. If we look at the Bank of England next, markets aren't expecting interest rate cuts in the UK at that meeting. So they've assigned less than a 10% probability that the Bank of England cuts interest rates this week. However, what we do know is that Governor Bailey has indicated that the bank are looking at cutting interest rates 4 times over 2025. So that would take rates from 4.75 down to 3.75 if they deliver on that during 2025. So please keep an eye out on our YouTube channel to keep updated with those events.
This video is not a recommendation or personal financial advice. With investing, your capital is at risk. Investments can fluctuate in value and you may get back less than you invest.